just based on what I know of this man and how he really is. Thank you.
Mr. Harris, is there anything you'd like to state, sir, before I impose sentence?
Man, I mean, at this point, it's very hard to say what I felt I was going to say, besides the fact that I prayed for this family as much as I prayed for myself, because we was both put in a situation that we was unprepared for. You feel me? It's a lot more I want to say, but I don't know how to express it. You know, I appreciate the family telling me, one of the family members telling me that she put it in God's hands. I also been doing the same thing, but I don't know how to express myself further because of the incident. You know, I plan on appealing the issue, but at the same time, I don't want to. I keep hearing that I have no remorse. I have no remorse. I'm not even understanding at this point of what they mean by remorse. But I got a kid of my own, so of course I won't want to see this happen to nobody. But under the circumstances of how the case went, this is what have been speaking from. So I really want to remain silent and not say nothing at all. But at the same time, I don't want you to think that I don't have no remorse. That's not that. But I'm not gonna say as far as me doing my appeal thing. I'm not gonna say like far as my innocence in this case or how it go. I don't know how to express it. I don't never wanted to seem like I'm not feeling for this situation. But how it came about, this is not that. You know, due to how the court proceedings went, this is how it landed. Like I said, I will be appealing. You know, but at no point am I heartless in any situation. You know, I got kids of my own.
Is that all?
I mean, yes, man, that's all.
Mr. Harris, because of your actions that day, 2 children lost their lives. 1 child was severely injured and has continuing injuries that will affect him every day of his life. The other children have continuing nightmares about the events that took place. I know you maintain your innocence, but a jury has found you guilty of involuntary manslaughter and fleeing, eluding, first-degree causing death, and reckless driving causing serious impairment of body function, and unlawfully driving away an automobile. Your actions that day were unnecessary. Ironically, the maximum term you could have served on parole would have ended next month. And they couldn't have kept you in prison any longer than next month under your 10-year maximum sentence that you had been serving. But at this point, lives of so many people have been affected by your actions and saying you were not going to go back. Your friend, you said multiple times, I'm not going, you told him, I'm not going back. Well, you are going back. No sentence I impose is ever going to bring those children back or make the children who were injured whole and back to the way they were before this incident happened. But sir, it's a sentence, and I do believe that these guidelines do not fully reflect what happened. Your OV score is at 190. The max out into the 6th level at 75 points. That's 190 is way more than double that amount. I don't think that the guidelines grid reflects the seriousness of the offense in this case. I am intending to go above the guidelines. The guidelines are advisory, but I don't think they accurately reflect what happened in this case. And sir, it's a sentence of this court that you be sentenced to a period of incarceration of 30 to 60 years in the Michigan Department of Corrections on the involuntary manslaughter and the fleeing, eluding, first-degree counts, the first 4 counts, with reckless driving causing serious impairment of body function. It's a sentence of this court that you be sentenced to a period of incarceration of 6 years to 20 years. And with regard to the unlawfully driving away an automobile, a sentence of 6 years to 20 years. You'll receive no credit for time served because you were on parole at the time this offense was committed. You must pay the restitution amount of $8,000. Has that been verified? Is that a funeral bill from the children?
Well, it appears that that was all paid by donations. It doesn't appear that the victim was out of pocket $8,000.
Ms. Lindsay, do you have any information about the funeral expenses and who paid them?
they had hospital bills, so we didn't get the figure for the hospital bill. So we
For
had to
Micaiah and Michael?
get determined.
Okay, and they did not have insurance to cover that?
No.
Okay. I will leave restitution to be determined. Please submit those bills and any monies that you paid personally out of pocket for the funeral expenses, you can be reimbursed for. But if people gave donations to pay for they can't be reimbursed. That can be part of the restitution now. So please submit receipts to Ms. Lindsay and she will get that submitted. And we'll amend that at a later date. So I'm going to leave restitution amount to be determined at this point. You must pay a DNA fee of $60, state costs of $544, court costs of $1,300, and attorney fees of $400. And Mr. Harris, it's my duty to advise you, you have the constitutional right to appeal your conviction and sentence. If you're unable to afford an attorney to prepare post-conviction motions or perfect appeal, the court will appoint an attorney for you of public defense and will provide the attorney with the transcripts needed to prepare your motions or an appeal. You're further advised that if you wish to file an appeal or motion, the request for the appointment of an attorney must be made in writing, filed with the clerk of this court within 42 days of today's date. You received the form advising you of your appellate rights. And has he signed the receipt?
He has signed the receipt of the notice of his appellate rights.
And Madam Clerk, are you giving him his copy?
He has his copy.
You've given him his copy, okay. The copy that you have is yours to keep, just so you can see it. You need to have counsel appointed for you. You sign it, date it, and mail it to the clerk of this court within 42 days of today's date.
You gotta fill this out too.
So you fill it out.
Only sign the top part, not the bottom part.
At this time, the defendant is remanded from custody of Michigan Department of Corrections and bond is canceled. Is there anything further from the people?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Oh, and those sentences all run concurrent to each other.
Thank you.
Oh, crime victim fee of $130. I missed that. Thank you. Crime victim,